If I could live my life again, I wouldn't ask for more money. I wouldn't ask for more time. I'd ask for one thing, just one. And no, it's not something flashy. It's not something you'd expect. But it's the one thing I now realize could have changed everything. This isn't a story full of what ifs. It's not a sob story either. It's just the truth from someone who's lived, lost, loved, and learned the hard way. So pull up a chair, take a breath, and really listen. Because I'm about to tell you what I wish someone had told me 50 years ago, not in a lecture, not in a book, but in the quiet way. One soul speaks to another. This story isn't about regret. It's about recognition of a truth I ignored until it stared me in the face. Part 1, the moment I knew something was missing. It happened on a Tuesday. I was sitting alone in my kitchen. The house was quiet, not just silent, but hollow. No calls, no plans, no purpose really. Just the hum of the refrigerator, the tick of the clock. I looked out the window. The wind was rustling the leaves, same as always. But that morning, they sounded different. Like they were whispering something I couldn't quite hear. And yet, something felt wrong. Not loud, not dramatic. Just empty. Like I had built my life out of strong bricks, but forgot to fill the inside. You see, I had done everything right. Worked hard, paid bills, raised a family. I was responsible, reliable, dependable. But that morning, staring into my black coffee, I felt it hit me like a quiet wave. I'd spent my whole life proving I was capable, but I never once stopped to ask who I was beyond all that. I had built a solid life, but I'd forgotten to make it mine. That was the moment I knew something had been quietly missing for years. Part 2. What I chose instead. I grew up in a time when showing emotion wasn't encouraged, especially not for men. You got up, did your job, kept your head down, and provided. You didn't talk about feelings, you didn't explore them. You just kept moving forward. And I did just that. I chose safety. I chose practicality. I chose the smart thing. When I had dreams, I called them childish. When I had doubts, I called them weakness. And when I had feelings, I buried them so deep, I forgot where I put them. There was a version of me, full of wonder and curiosity, but I silenced him, thinking I was being mature. I told myself I was building a good life, and maybe I was. But here's the truth. I traded my passion for predictability, and I didn't even know I was doing it. You can spend decades doing what's expected and never once ask what you truly want. And by the time you do, you may have forgotten how to answer. Part 3. The people who tried to warn me. Looking back, there were signs, people who tried to reach me. My wife once asked me, "Do you ever wonder what else is out there?" I brushed it off, told her we had everything we needed. But I remember her eyes when I said it, like she wanted to believe me, but didn't. My best friend from school, he became an artist. He struggled, sure, but every time I saw him, there was a light in his eyes. He talked about colors like they were emotions. He felt things. I used to think he was foolish. Now, I think he was free. Even my daughter, when she was 20, asked me, "Dad, why do you always play it so safe?" I laughed, said something about responsibility, about not chasing wind. But maybe she was asking the question I had never dared to ask myself. If this part of the story speaks to you, if you've ever had someone try to wake you up, someone who saw something in you before you saw it yourself, then take a second, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you won't miss the next story we share, because sometimes the right words come at just the right time, and maybe this is yours. Part 4. The cost of never asking. Who am I? I don't regret working hard. I don't regret raising my kids. I don't regret providing, but I do regret not knowing who I was underneath all that. Because when the job was done, when the house was paid off, when the kids were grown and gone, I was left with silence, and silence is loud. When you have nothing inside it. I didn't know what I liked, didn't know what moved me, didn't know what I stood for, because I'd never asked. And let me tell you, that question doesn't go away. It waits, not with urgency, but with patience, like a letter you never opened, just sitting on a shelf, until one day you realize it was addressed to you all along. And for me, that day came too late. Part 5, the one thing I'd do differently. So if I could live my life again, I wouldn't chase more money, wouldn't chase more fame, wouldn't even chase more time. I'd chase authenticity. I'd stop trying to be what others expected and start asking who I was, really. I'd take more risks, not foolish ones, but meaningful ones. The kind that scare you a little, but wake you up. I'd write that book I kept putting off. I'd sing in public, even if I sounded awful. I'd tell people how I really felt before it was too late. I'd speak gently to my younger self and remind him, you don't have to earn your worth. You already have it. And most of all, I'd make peace with not having all the answers. Because being alive isn't about getting it perfect. It's about being real, being present, being you, no mask, no armor, just truth. Part 6. What I want you to know, if you're listening to this and you're younger than me, you still have time to look inward, time to ask real questions, time to build a life that fits you. Not just the version of you the world wants to see. Please, don't wait until retirement to find yourself. Don't wait until the kids are grown. Don't wait until the house is quiet. Because by then, you might find that the person you needed most, you, was a stranger all along. And if you're around my age, it's not too late either. You can still turn towards your own voice, still listen, still speak. The world still needs your truth, your stories, your wisdom. But first, you have to claim it. Final thoughts. Life doesn't give you a redo button, but it does give you today, right now. So here's my message, plain and simple. Find your voice, tell your truth, and never trade your authenticity for approval. Because when the noise fades, when the crowds go home, when the work is done, what's left is you. And if you've lived honestly, that will be enough. Here's the beautiful part. It's never too late to begin again on the inside. You don't need to change the past. You only need the courage to meet yourself now, as you really are. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the true one, the one who's been hiding under all the roles, the routines, the expectations. If this story stirred something in you, if it reminded you of your own turning points, your own quiet regrets, or your own long-forgotten dreams, leave a comment below. Tell us, what's one thing you'd do differently if you could live life again? And if you want more stories like this from real people with real wisdom, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, so you never miss an episode, and tap the thumbs up if this message meant something to you. This channel is called Echoes of Life because some truths are too important to stay buried. We'll see you in the next one.